warning of a missile strike.
Now the government is apologizing. KCAL 9's Christian Fajardo joins us with more on the panic in Paradise.
Yeah, it certainly was a panic, and tonight the head of the Emergency Management Agency in Hawaii says he's sorry, and he's promising to make changes so in the future, one person's mistake won't be able to cause a whole state to think the end is near.
I know what'll happen to me, but I know that there's people who care about me. I just want to know that I love you guys.
Somber words and final farewells flooded out of Hawaii after a false alert went out on TV.
The U.S. Pacific Command has detected a missile threat to Hawaii.
And on cell phones, the message reading ballistic missile threat inbound to Hawaii, seeking immediate shelter. This is not a drill. For 38 terrifying minutes, many people believe the alert was real.
Report to the lobby to receive directions to the basement.
Having parents put their children in manholes, frenzied families huddled in closets.
When I saw the thing say, "This is not a drill," that is the impact line right there.
Dean Kaneshiro spoke to us from Oahu.
My daughter was out at camp, and so the strongest emotions I had came up when I started to talk about that, and I had 3 of the kids were praying.
Governor of Hawaii, David Ige, blames human error. He says a false alarm went out during a shift change when the wrong button was pushed.
What happened today was totally unacceptable.
But for those who lived minutes of terror, the explanation is falling short. The mayor of Kauai, Bernard Carvalho, Skyped with us.
There needed to be a quick, within minutes, somebody on television, on video, the alert, telling them, be safe, we're working on it, that kind, and nothing happened.
A move that could have perhaps spared some LA-bound passengers hours of uncertainty. They got the alert before takeoff in Hawaii and touchdown at LAX, still in knots.
A couple other people in the plane too, like their alerts were going off too, and I read it and I just got super scared.
The alarm went off on my phone, and I woke my mom up.
We're looking at it, and I'm trying to calm him down. His hands were shaking. He took my hand.
The feds are now involved. The Federal Communications Commission is now investigating. Back to you.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. This show is not a drill, folks. Or is it a drill? Or is it a test? I'm not quite sure. As most of you saw and are aware, they had this bogus fear propaganda missile scare in Hawaii yesterday, late yesterday. Absolutely unbelievable. The stuff that they're trying to push now, because this isn't the first time in the last few months that we've seen one of these emergency broadcast system alerts. But what they're pushing today is really comical. They're saying that the false missile threat is being blamed on an employee who pushed the wrong button. I mean, really? It's a 2-step process, folks, according to what they say, to send out this emergency alert. A 2-step process where the person has to confirm that they're sending out this missile alert, because the screen will say, hey, do you want to send this out? And he has to say, yup, I definitely do. They're pretending it's as if he was leaning up against, the wall, and he accidentally hit the light switch. And all of a sudden, a fake, all this stuff got sent out across Hawaii telling people to find shelter, that it's not a drill, that it's the real thing, that a missile is coming in. I mean, just total nonsense. This is how they work. They test these things out all the time, right? They want to see how people act. They mess with people. Remember, these people are sick, okay? They get off on stuff like this. They love seeing people running around in fear. And they do these tests to condition people, to prepare them for something like this actually happening, or when it actually happens. So people are already desensitized, in a sense, from it. Now, a few months ago, if you recall, we had this occur in California.
Is it the end of the world as we know it, or just a hacker's hoax?
Orange County cable customers heard the ominous prediction on the air today that the world is going to end Saturday.
KCAL 9 Stacey Butler live in Lake Forest tonight. Stacey.
Well, Lena and Jeff, we've all seen those warnings, the test of the emergency broadcast system flash across our TV screens, but it's what happened immediately after that that has many across Southern California shocked at what they saw. You were watching what flashed across some television screens in Southern California just after 11 o'clock this morning. Some heard what started as an emergency alert and turned into a warning of the end of the world. This Irvine mom was shocked.
Because I kind of questioned what it was and asked somebody else that was in the house, what do you think this is? I've never seen anything like this before. It was weird.
She's not the only one. On YouTube, another Orange County woman posted the same bizarre emergency alert, and another viewer saw the alert seconds before the station returned to C-SPAN.
Oh, but is this a coincidence as well? So 3 months ago, they have an end of the world emergency alert that runs on Southern California TVs, where there's just very weird messaging, as you could see from that video, the tone of it, about what is to come. I mean, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. And then yesterday, you get this. So now they're spinning this, and they expect us to just go, oh, it was just an accident. It says after Hawaii emergency officials confirmed that an alert about an inbound ballistic missile was a mistake, they said the employee who pushed the wrong button feels awful about the panic-inducing incident. This guy's named Vern, who oversees the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency, said at a news conference late Saturday that the civil defense employee who pushed the wrong button regrets what took place. Oh, does he? I mean, really? He said this guy feels bad. He's not doing this on purpose. It was a mistake on his part. He feels terrible about it. I mean, that's the whole article. How many times do you want to tell us he's apologizing for this? How stupid can a human being be to believe that this was on accident? That the guy just, oops, let me just do this. Is the guy fired? Are there any consequences to his action? Oh, we're supposed to just give him a pass, right? A slap on the wrist? Even though people probably, who knows what kind of panic went on there and what people really did. I mean, going underground, looking for bunkers, people on YouTube crying. People who had flights going into Hawaii, the flight got turned around. I mean, what a nightmare. Imagine that. Imagine you're in LAX, heading to Hawaii for your honeymoon. Right? And the plane has to turn around because there's rumors of a missile getting sent to Hawaii. I mean, what a great way to spend your honeymoon. It says that the guy, the employee who pressed the button would be counseled and drilled, so this never happens again. Rather than triggering a test of the system, it went into actual event mode. He confirmed that to trigger the alert, there is a two-step process involving one employee who both triggers the alarm, then also confirms it. There is a screen that says, "Are you sure you want to do this?" Sounds pretty clear-cut to me. The employee confirmed the alert, inadvertently causing a panic in a state already on edge over missile threats from North Korea. Hawaii Governor David Ige said there wasn't a process in place to send out a message stating that this is a false alarm. So, okay, how convenient. So you have the process to create fear, panic, and say, listen, there's a bomb heading here, a missile heading here, whatever you want to say. But you don't have something to say, oh, this was a mistake, it was a test. I mean, it's unbelievable. It says, we're not prepared for that. The fact that an alert was issued that was incorrect. So we have that now. That's a real clear answer. Thanks, Mr. Mayor. At about 8:07 a.m. local time, Hawaii citizens received an emergency alert on their phone that read, ballistic missile threat inbound to Hawaii. Seek immediate shelter. This is not a drill. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. At 8:20, local time, Hawaii EMA tweeted that there was no missile threat to the state. However, the tweet didn't reach people who aren't on the social media platform. Around the same time, House Representative of Hawaii said, Hawaii, this is a false alarm. There's no incoming missile to Hawaii. I've confirmed with officials there's no incoming missile. Roughly 15 minutes later, the U.S. Pacific Command issued a statement clarifying there was no ballistic missile threat to Hawaii. It wasn't until 38 minutes after the first warning. I'm shocked that it wasn't 33 minutes after the first warning. But 38 minutes after the first warning that Hawaii's EMA alerted mobile devices across the islands that the initial alert was a false alarm. So they just go out there and they just apologize. Oops, it's a big mistake. Haha, accidentally sent this out. Give me a break. They want us to believe that they're accidentally doing this stuff. Just like the end of the world, I mean, the fact that the one that happened in California, which I played in this video, the fact that that even exists, that there's a recording of that, saying those things, playing over the television, should be enough to wake people up, you think, right? Like, why would they have that recorded and prepared, this end of the world statement? I mean, it's insane, that message, right? But instead, people just go, oh, you know, this is kind of some weird thing that got sent out there. Somebody must have hacked in and did that, right? And people just buy it, just like this guy. Oh, yeah. He accidentally, even though it's a two-step process, so I'm sure he pressed the button and it said, are you sure you want to send out a missile threat alert to the entire island of Hawaii? Yes or no? And then he clicked yes. Yeah, no, that must have been a huge, huge accident. I mean, how do people buy this stuff? How dumbed down do you have to be? I know that we've got the fluoride in the water, we got the chemtrails above, we've got the chemicals in the food, people are getting vaccinated willingly, believe it or not. I mean, I know how dumbed down society is, but geez, does anyone ask any questions? I mean, two-step process, huge accident. 3 months prior, we have the end of the world emergency alert going on in California. I mean, this is stuff that they are conditioning and preparing people for. They're running these tests. They like to test stuff out. Remember, they like to see how people react to certain things. Okay? They always are running tests on us. This is a giant experiment. America is an experiment. We're the rats that they're running the experiments on. And psychologically, they do all this stuff to see how people respond and make sure that when they push the button to go forward, that people are going to go along with it. They don't want any rebellion. They don't want anybody to fight back. They don't want a quote-unquote uprising. So they test this stuff out to make sure people are compliant with everything, that people are believing this stuff, that people are believing that missiles are coming in and they're going down in their bunkers. It's insane what they get away with. Anyway, I just wanted to cover this ridiculous story about how the button was accidentally pushed. I mean, I don't know what else to say. All you got to do is look back 3 months ago at the ridiculous emergency alert that went out in California. This is the world we live in now, folks. And people see this stuff and they just go, oh my goodness, can you believe it? And they just go about their day. They don't question the government. They don't question these officials. They don't question the credentials of the guy who has access to push the button. You'd think maybe, you know, that type of responsibility, you probably should know what you're doing. But instead they play it off like they hired the guy off the street. He's making minimum wage, but he has the responsibility of sending out a missile threat to the entire island. Oh, he just made a mistake here. I mean, come on. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.
Things are pretty sweet,